Welcome back to Empowering the Educator Within, the podcast that brings clarity, inspiration, and practical strategies to educators around the globe. I'm your host, Christina Shalla, and today we're diving into a topic that hits home for many of us: how to better engage your audience when you're invited to speak or present at a teacher's conference. Maybe you've recently been asked to lead a session or share your experience at an upcoming event. It's exciting, right? But it can also be a bit daunting. You want to inspire your audience, but more importantly, you want them to leave your session with something they can actually use in their own schools and classrooms. So today, I'm sharing a few key tips to help ensure your message doesn't just land, it sticks. Let's start with data. Yes, it's important. Yes, it can be powerful. But here's the thing. While you might be deeply passionate about the stats and research behind your topic, your audience likely isn't there to analyze every number. The truth is, too much data can overwhelm your listeners or distract from your main message. Instead of packing your slides or script full of facts and figures, consider this approach. Use just enough to support your point, and then give your audience a handout or a link where they can dig deeper if they want to. Your job during the session is to connect, clarify, and inspire. Let the detailed data live in the resources you provide. Now, this next one may feel counterintuitive. Limit the personal stories. I know, it's tempting. We've all been there. You want to share how something worked beautifully at a previous school, how a change you implemented made a real difference. And while stories can certainly be engaging and uplifting, if that's all we give our audience, we're unintentionally leaving them empty-handed. A great story doesn't necessarily provide the steps or the tools others need to replicate your success in their own context. So, instead of just talking about what you did, break it down. What did that change look like in action? What resources were needed? What should others watch out for if they want to try the same thing? Remember, stories inspire, but structure empowers. Another common misstep: assuming your audience is all coming from the same place. They're not. Within that room, you might have mainstream classroom teachers, specialist teachers, support staff, administrators, even pre-service teachers. Some might be in split-grade classrooms. Others might be juggling ELL and multi-level needs. Their challenges and their realities aren't the same. So take the time to reflect. Who's likely to attend your session? And how can you make space for different teaching contexts in your presentation? One strategy that can really help with this is designing your session around flexible frameworks, something we explore more in the article Creating Effective Professional Development for Teachers on the education blog at shallabooks.com. This kind of structure allows you to adapt your approach while still staying grounded in your core message. And that brings us to another important point. Let's say you're asked to present on the same topic at different events. Should you use the same script each time? Honestly, no. Because just like your audience isn't one size fits all, neither should your session be. Think about whether your audience is primarily domestic or international. Consider their access to resources, class sizes, or even their school calendars. Those differences matter, and they shape what's practical or possible in their context. Adjusting your message slightly for each group doesn't dilute your message, it makes it more relevant. And finally, if you take just one thing from this episode, let it be this: always, always provide practical tools and a way to follow up. Educators don't just want ideas. They want something they can use tomorrow. Maybe it's a template, a checklist, a framework, or a visual. And just as important, they want to know where to go if they need help putting those ideas into practice. If you leave them inspired but unsupported, most will go back to doing what they've always done, simply because they don't have a clear next step. So give them that next step. Presenting at a teacher's conference is a huge opportunity, not just to share what you know, but to empower others to grow. By tailoring your session, keeping things actionable, and thinking deeply about your audience's needs, you can turn a good presentation into one that's truly transformative. And if you've got tips of your own for engaging educators at conferences, I'd love to hear them. You can connect with me through the education blog at shalabooks.com, where this episode is linked to the article, Tips for Presenting at Education Conferences. As always, thanks for tuning in to Empowering the Educator Within. Until next time, keep sharing, keep growing, and keep empowering those around you.